This article is by CNN. Once again, police suspect a caretaker disguised a crime by claiming a child went missing. And here in the picture, I have Maleah Davis, I have Shaylie Madden, and I have AJ Freund. A caretaker reports a child missing and gives a detailed account of what happened, but as the story unravels, the caretaker becomes the suspect. That's what happened when the father of 5-year-old AJ Friend said the boy vanished, then later confessed he had actually stashed AJ's lifeless body in the basement. That's what happened when the mother of 7-week-old Shaylie Madden claimed she and her infant were both abducted, a story authorities now call a hoax. And that's what happened now in the case of 4-year-old Maleah Davis, who was reported missing May 4th and still hasn't been found. Her mother's ex-fiance was taking care of Maleah and said he and the girl were kidnapped by a trio of mysterious men near Houston. But police are finding more holes in Darian Vince's story, as well as blood in his home and signs of decomposition in his car. In just 4 years, Maleah had already endured multiple brain surgeries and had been removed by Child Protective Services. The surgeries were needed to treat an injury that the cause which remains uncertain. Her mother, Brittany Bowen, said she took Maleah to West Houston Medical Center last July because she was lethargic, but nurses didn't examine her head. Weeks later, on July 28th, Maleah fell while she was sitting at the table, eating by herself, Bowen said. The girl suffered a deep gash on her head, and once again her mother rushed her to the hospital. Doctors discharged Maleah without performing a CT scan, Bowen said. 5 days later, Maleah suffered a seizure, Bowen said. Maleah then was taken to the Children's Hospital. They did a CT scan, and that's when they told me there was bleeding on the left side of her brain, Bowens told CNN. At that point, it was a life or death situation. A few days after the doctors operated on Maleah, Child Protective Services arrived at her home. They didn't find anything because we're not those kind of people, Bowen stated. But the same month, child welfare workers placed Maleah and her two brothers with relatives after allegations of abuse. A judge later allowed the siblings to return home in February. 3 months later, Maleah vanished and is still nowhere to be found. From a caretaker to alleged victim to suspect. Darian Vince, the ex-fiancé of Maleah's mother, was taking care of Maleah on May 3rd. What happened after that depends on who you believe. Vince, 26, initially told police he was driving with Maleah to pick up her mother from the airport when he heard what sounded like his tire popping. When he stopped to investigate, a blue pickup truck pulled up with two Hispanic males, got out. He said one of them commented, Maleah looks very nice, looks very sweet. The other man hit Vince in the head and he lost consciousness. He claims over 24 hours period that he was in and out of consciousness and woke up in the back of the kidnapper's pickup truck. He said at one point he noticed a third abductor in the truck. When he woke up the evening of May 4th, Vince said he was abandoned on Highway 6, but Maleah was not there. He said he walked to the hospital for help. Houston police said they uncovered a lot of evidence contradicting Vince's story, such as surveillance footage of Vince's apartment complex showing him leaving the afternoon of May 3rd carrying something heavy in a large black trash bag, according to the probable cause affidavit. Maleah has not been seen since. Police also found blood in the hallway and bathroom of Vince's apartment. DNA from the blood matches DNA from Maleah's toothbrush, and surveillance footage at the hospital that Vince said he walked to showed he was actually dropped off in a silver Nissan Altima. It was the same car Vince was driving to the airport and that Vince said he hadn't seen since the night before. When canine officers sniffed the car for evidence, they responded to the scent of decomposition in the vehicle, the affidavit states. Vince was arrested Saturday on suspicion of tampering with evidence, a human corpse, police said. Tampering with a human corpse is a second-degree felony in Texas. If convicted, Vince faces between 2 to 20 years in prison. The next article is about AJ Friend. A boy's father reported him missing and then showed police his grave. The disappearance of 5-year-old AJ Freund last month prompted a widespread search across northern Illinois. But he wasn't really missing. His father later confessed that he hid the boy's body in a basement and then buried AJ in an empty lot. It was a stark contrast to the father's original story. Andrew Freund Sr. called 911 the morning of April 18th, saying he couldn't find his son. In reality, police said AJ likely died 3 days earlier after being punished for soiling his clothes. Authorities also found a video on the cell phone of the boy's mother, Joanne Cunningham, showing AJ badly beaten, according to a now sealed court documents obtained by the Northwest Herald. AJ is seen to be naked except for some small bandages around his wrist encircling his hips. One document states AJ is seen to be holding an ice pack to his face. When he removes it, he's seen to have a deep red bruising around his eye. The video marked a turning point in the investigation. When police showed it to Freund on April 24th, he told them his wife caused AJ's injuries and described what happened the night AJ died. He believed AJ died on Monday morning after spending a prolonged time in a cold shower, the documents state. Drew explained he wanted Joanne to stop with the hard physical beatings and do some less violent form of punishment. Drew said cold showers was decided as the alternative. After the confession, Freund took police to a shallow grave in Woodstock where they found AJ's body covered with straw. An autopsy revealed he died of blunt force injuries. Both parents have been charged with murder. Next, we have Krista Madden. Investigators say a mom threw her infant down a ravine. North Carolina police scrambled to find Krista Madden and her 7-week-old daughter last Thursday after someone called 911 and said the two may have been kidnapped. Madden, 35, was later found walking down a country road. She told authorities she managed to escape two captors wearing ski masks, but the kidnappers still had her infant daughter, Shaylie. While Henderson County Sheriff's deputies searched for Shaylie, someone called 911 to report the baby was found at the bottom of a 75-foot ravine, along with a car seat. Investigators now believe Madden threw the car seat down the ravine, Henderson County Sheriff Lowell Griffin said. When the car seat hit the ground, Shaylie apparently rolled out. The baby was not seriously injured. Her mother now faces an attempted murder charge. She did provide enough information about her involvement that gave us probable cause, the sheriff said. A mother waits in agony. While we know the fates of AJ and Shaylie, Maleah's whereabouts remain a mystery. Soon after Maleah's disappearance, her mother said it was easier to believe Vince's story that a trio of kidnappers took her child. It gives me hope to know that she may be alive if someone else took her, Bowen said. But as time passed, she started doubting her fiance's story. The way he's going about things is suspicious, Bowen said. I've been out there doing what I need as a mother. I've been trying and he hasn't been by my side not one time. Thank you all for watching. Leave me your thoughts and opinions below. I love hearing what everyone's got to say about these cases. And I'll be doing my live stream this morning at 10 a.m. I hope to see you there.